I wanted to share my experience with Frowny's facial patches for the forehead and between the eyes. I have been using them nightly for 8 months now. And I have to tell you, these are the number one thing you could do to get rid of forehead wrinkles besides Botox. So if you care about living a non-toxic lifestyle, or I should say low toxic lifestyle, and you don't want to get Botox, this is it. I am telling you, there is nothing else that I have found that works as well as Frowny's. So this is my forehead now. I'm going to go find a picture from 8 months ago, right before I started using Frowny's. I think people a lot of times have a wake up picture where they see a picture of themselves and they're like, oh, that's what it looks like. And they're like, I've got to do something about it. So I ordered them right away and I started using them, and I committed to using them nightly. And I have missed a couple nights here and there, but pretty much I am very consistent. So a couple questions people might have are they good for sensitive skin? And I have to say, I don't have sensitive skin. So I have never had an issue with them. Number two, do you need to prep or do anything special before you put them on? So what you're going to do is you're going to wash your face and you're going to just put whatever goes on your face. Normally, I use retinol, so you can use that. I actually use castor oil too. So they come like this, and to prep them, you really are just going to tear them into pieces. You can tear them into, you can use it like that, or you can tear them into half pieces, and you'll figure out over time what your pattern that you like is. And the only thing is that after I use castor oil, I need to wait 30 minutes, maybe an hour, just depends, until it's soaked in, because they're not going to stick if you put them on top of an oily surface. So if you do use a bunch of stuff, you just want to let it soak in and then come back. I would not use them after glycolic peel or microneedling or anything where your skin is left raw or sensitive. I just don't think that's a good idea. Now, when you first start using these, what will happen is you'll wake up in the morning and you'll be like, wow, this looks great. Or maybe not. Maybe your forehead lines are so deep that you won't be able to tell. But over time, you'll wake up and you're like, this looks so good. But then you'll notice the results will wear off by the end of the day. And so that was happening to me until I got to like 2 or 3 month mark of using them every night. And then the results stayed. So now I think actually I forgot to use them last night. I just was really tired. And so you can see my forehead still looks really smooth. And so as you just get into it, the results will last even if you don't wear them at night. And Botox, you inject the toxin and it stabilizes your forehead so you can't move it. How these work is they make a cast, like a splint, and so you can't move your forehead. And so what happens is you learn to make expressions. Even when you're sleeping, you learn to do things without using those muscles. Botox paralyzes them. This retrains them. So it's really cool and it works really well. Now, if I wanted to do that, I can. I don't know. It's really cool. So I'm going to show you a couple of my tips and tricks. One is sometimes I will, because they're kind of stiff, it might want to flip up on the edges. And so I found if I crinkle them like this, it makes them more leathery and more pliable. Other trick I have is I will spray the non-adhesive side a couple times. Again, I'm trying to kind of break down the stiffness. This is the Rose Water Hydrator Spray. It's got hyaluronic acid and rose water in it. So I will just spray that once on the adhesive part and spread it with my finger. And then you can lay it down or you can just go like that. And then you want to spread out where the wrinkles are. So I start in the middle of my forehead and just hold it. First piece. And then you're just going to build your pattern and you want to cover the forehead, and you figure out using the full pieces and the half pieces what your coverage looks like. So I'm going to do that really quickly so you can see how it looks. This is a full cast. If it starts to poke up, which you can spray either this or just spray the sides and wet it down like that, but you don't want to make any expressions once the cast is on. And then you just go to sleep and they do their thing while you sleep. It's like exercising, but the opposite. It's amazing. I'm not even kidding. When you wake up in the morning, you can use their Rose Water Hydrator Spray, or you can just use water and get it wet, or you can sweat, like do exercise, and then they just like really glide off really easily. But these Frownies facial patches really kind of gave me my confidence back. I went through 5 years that were really hard, a lot of trauma. We had a son with a brain inflammation disease. We had to gut our house because we found toxic mold, which gave him the brain inflammation disease, we figured out, and we lost everything. And all of that stress showed up on my face. And it's like, after we got through all of that disaster and trauma, I like woke up one day and I looked at the picture that I showed, and I was like, what's happened? Like, I felt like I lost years, like just blinked, and I had aged a lot. I think when a woman turns 40 or probably 50, 60, probably every decade, it's like this, what now? Like, I didn't imagine what I would look like, what my life would be like. And so, you know, aging's beautiful, but when it happens at a pace that you're not ready for, it's hard. And so I kind of decided, like, no, this isn't going to happen. I'm not ready for this. I'm going to do everything I can non-toxic wise to reverse these signs of aging and stress. And the first thing I did, it was 8 months ago, is I started wearing Frownies on my forehead every night. And they worked so well. It took about 2 months for long lasting results, but they worked so well that it just gave me confidence back and confidence to explore new things with skincare and really kind of take back control of my life. And I don't know, feel really good about myself. So if you are considering Frownies, like, you have to do it, and you have to do it every night long term. Again, I'm at 8 months, and at 2 months I started seeing, okay, here's how it goes. At like a day to a week, you will see results when you wake up, but they probably won't last throughout the day. And then around 1 month or 2 months, it just depends on, you know, your expressions and everything, how deep your lines are, you will start seeing the results last throughout the day. And then just every month on top of that, the forehead wrinkles that you had will just fade and fade and fade. And then I even started wearing them here because these lines were getting really deep, and these lines are now fading a lot, which is insane. So I do wear the ones that they have for the mouth. Sometimes I'll wear the ones that they'll have for the eyes. This company has been around for over 130 years, which is absolutely insane. And there's a reason why. It's because they were literally the OG Botox. They were Botox before Botox was Botox. I love them. Also, my husband is going to start wearing them nightly because he has very deep forehead wrinkles. And it's like a science experiment. I am very excited to see the end result for his. So stay tuned, because I will for sure be posting a video about that.